Hi, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about some MCQ questions from public finance. So those who are preparing for A-level UGC NET exams, it will be very useful. So let's start. First question. In 2016 and 17, Australia had a progressive income tax structure with the four marginal tax rates of 19%, 32.5%, 37% and 45%. Assuming pre-tax income is increasing significantly during this financial year, after-tax income what will happen to the after-tax income? That is a question. Option A, an increasing proportionally less than the pre-tax income, increasing proportionally more than the pre-tax income, increase by the same proportion as pre-tax income, decrease proportionally less than the pre-tax income. So in this table you can see that first pre-tax income is given. Here in this column you can see that I just selected four income groups, and tax rate is marginal tax rate is given in the question paper, so I just did that one. Then I calculated the tax percentage, then I deducted and I found out after tax income. Question is about the after tax income, nah? So first we find out the after tax income, then I just assumed that it is increased significantly during the financial year, so I just increased that income to the 10%. So 10% of 1000 I just added to that one, that is 11,000, like that each one's 10% I added. So you can see that one, that is the new pre-tax income, and the marginal tax rate is same. Then after tax income is here. So you can see that first what happened to the after tax income, it is increased or reduced. Once if you are paying tax, surely after tax income will fall, isn't it? So, and it is increasing at the same proportion, isn't it? So you can see that 10%, 10%, 10%, that means it is proportional. So it is increases proportionately. After tax income increases. Previously you see it is after tax income, what happened to the after tax income, you can see it. Here it is 810, and but here it is how much? 891. That means that it is increased, isn't it? So increase proportionately. How much proportion? It is a 10% increase. So increased proportionally less than the pre-tax income. For example, less than the pre-tax income. You check the pre-tax income is how much. For example, we'll be say that pre-tax income is 1100. But now pre-tax income, after tax income is how much? 891. Here pre-tax income is how much? 3300. But after tax income is how much? 2227.5. That shows that what it is not it is increases proportionately more than pre-tax income is wrong, because it is less than pre-tax income. So that's why that is wrong. Increase by the same proportion as the pre-tax income. No, it is not increase as the same proportion as the pre-tax income. Okay. Then decrease proportionately less than after pre-tax income. No, actually it is actually more than pre-tax income, nah? So that's why that is wrong. So what will be the correct answer? So option A is the correct answer, because it increases proportionately, that is 10%, less than the pre-tax income. The new pre-tax income, in this column you can see that new pre-tax income and after pre-tax income, what happened? These two columns, it is reduces, isn't it? So that's what I said, it is less than the pre-tax income. That's it. Is it clear? So next question. In New Zealand's government announced that it planned to increase the tax on fuel by 4% per litre from July 2020. This changes in taxation is an example of an increase in which of the following? Option A, progressive tax. Option B, proportional tax. Option C, regressive tax. Option D, direct tax. So in this question, it's a very simple question, but you have to be understand that most of the taxes and which nature. So normally tax on goods and services will be regressive in nature, because the low income households used to spend a high proportion of income for the goods and services. So if you are increasing a tax on goods and services, will be considered as regressive tax. So in this question we can understand that it is not a progressive tax, it is not a proportional tax, and it is not at all direct tax. So option C is the right answer. It is a regressive tax. Between 2014 and 2019, France's public expenditure as a proportion of GDP fell from 57.2% to 55.6%. Which of the following is likely impact of a decrease in public expenditure? Option A decrease in unemployment. Option B, a decrease in crowding out. Option C, an increase in injections. Option D, an increase in inflationary pressure. So question is that impact of decrease in public expenditure. Keep in mind, impact of decrease in public expenditure. Once we are considering option a decrease in unemployment, it is not a correct because there will be an increase in unemployment because government spending is reduced. Government spending is a component of aggregate demand, so aggregate demand will shift to left. That may lead to a fall in real output and it will increases the unemployment, not decreases the unemployment. So option A is wrong. Once you consider option C, it is not correct because there will be a decrease in injections. Actually, government spending is an injection to the circular flow of income. They said that in option it is increase in injection. Actually, public expenditure is reducing. So that option C is wrong. Then option D, an increase in inflationary pressure. Actually, first option I explained that government spending is a component of aggregate demand. So government spending falls. What will happen to the short-term aggregate demand? It will shift to left so that it will reduces the demand pull inflation. So that option D is also wrong. The only correct answer is option B, a decrease in crowding out. That means that now government expenditure is reducing. So it will be an incentive for the private individuals to invest more in the circular flow of income. So that will be a result toward a decrease in crowding out and increasing crowding in. So in this question, the chart shows the national debt as a percentage of GDP for selected countries in 2020. France, Spain and UK. How much percentage of GDP as their debt, you can see it. France, 100% of the GDP is their debt. Spain, it is around 95%, and in UK, it is about 83%. Which of the following can be deduced from the chart? Option A, in the UK, tax revenue must have been lower than the public expenditure in previous years. In Spain, public expenditure as a percentage of GDP must have been higher than in France. Option C, in France, imports must have been greater than export. Option D, in UK, crowding out is more than in Spain. Once we check the option B is not correct because they said that Spain having a highest public expenditure as a percentage of GDP than France. But we can see the figure who is having the highest percentage of GDP as a debt. France is having the highest percentage of the GDP of debt, around 100%. But Spain is having only 97 or a 98% only. So that option B is wrong. Then if you check option C, in France, imports must have been greater than export. Actually, it is saying about the national debt as a percentage of GDP, not related to the trade deficit of the France. So that's why that option C is wrong. Then, if you check the option D, the UK crowding out is more likely than in Spain. Actually, UK crowding out, or as we can able to say that actually crowding out will be high in where? France, because their government expenditure is greater. You can say 100% is their debt, means that much they are spending it. So government expenditure will be high in where? France. So their crowding out will be higher. And UK government expenditure is only about 83%. Nah? So their crowding out will be lower. So option D is not a correct because there is likely to be greater crowding out in Spain than in UK. Actually, option A is correct because in UK, tax revenue must have been lower than in the public expenditure in previous years. If the government expenditure is greater than the government revenue, then only government need to borrow more, isn't it? So in UK, the tax revenue must be lower. That's why they are borrowing more. That's why their debt is about 83% of their GDP. So option A is correct. Next question. In December 2020, the Spanish government announced that It was increasing the highest rate of income tax from 45% to 47%. Which of the following is most likely the impact of this change? Option A, government will receive an additional 2% of tax from all workers in Spain. Option B, the value of Spain's Gini coefficient will fall and the country's Lorentz curve will shift inward. Option C, the burden of tax will fall mostly on low-income households as the tax changes is regressive. Option D, there will be an increased incentive for the people to set up the businesses in Spain. So here option A is not correct because option A says that government will receive additional 2% of tax from all workers in Spain. From all workers in Spain. That is wrong. Why? Because it increases the tax for the highest income earners only. So that option A is wrong. Then why option C is wrong? Because the burden of tax will fall mostly on the low income households as the tax changes as a regressive. No, actually they are increasing the tax for the highest income earners. Huh? So it is progressive and the low income earners will not need to pay for this tax. So we can able to say that this type of tax is progressive and burden fall on mostly on the high income earners, not the low income earners. So that's why option C is wrong. Then option D is not correct because this would deter the people from setting up of the businesses in Spain. Actually, businesses will not attracted in Spain because their highest income groups, the tax rate is highest. So that it will reduce their profitability. For example, corporation tax will increase, so it will reduce their profitability. So they will not prefer to do businesses in where? In Spain. That's why option D is wrong. Here option B is correct because the value of Spain's Gini coefficient. Gini coefficient means A divided by A plus B, that particular Lorentz curve area you guys are familiar, will fall because it is a progressive income tax, so that it will be line of Lorentz curve will be close to the line of equality, so that a country's Gini coefficients will shift inward. So that option B is correct. So thank you for watching. Best wishes for your exam. Please do subscribe my channel. Thank you.